to Just Between Us, everyone's favorite children's show with puppets.
They're going to think these dogs are puppets.
Wouldn't that be cool? Hello. So this week I thought we'd sort of do a follow-up episode because a while ago we talked about you getting your late autism diagnosis.
Yeah.
Now I just wonder if you feel different now that a lot of time has passed, and if like your experience of life is different, and like what it's been like now having this diagnosis for some time.
Well, I still feel like imposter syndrome because we did post that video, and then like I am even nervous to talk about it now here because there's like a big swath of people who, when somebody comes forth with a diagnosis, they're like, nah. I don't know. I still feel like embarrassed.
Really? You talk about it all the time.
I know, but I still...
You probably bring it up like every 30 minutes that I'm with you.
Maybe.
I feel like you've really taken on the label, so it's interesting to then hear you say that.
I feel embarrassed still. I never post it like anywhere that's like not ephemeral, you know? I don't put it on like my feed or like anything like that.
But you talk about it in the podcast all the time.
Yeah, but we could delete that at any time.
You can delete anything at any time.
I just don't, I don't know. I still feel weird about it. I like see my whole therapist for it and everything. And I like still, you doubt yourself or you think like, oh, well, that couldn't possibly be that. Or I don't know. Like there's a girl that talks about autism that we're going to have on JBU, the podcast. And like her book is called like, But Everyone Feels That Way. I just worry, oh, I'm exaggerating, or, oh, the reason that I do these things or need these things is just, it's just because I'm weird, or it's just because I'm like broken or something. Like, so there is like going into it and like thinking about the frustrating elements of why I am the certain way that I am and the like accommodations and stuff that I need. But I also have such a deeply ingrained willingness to make myself small and not need anything from certain people. And like, I still have this like really intense, like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I almost never melt down in front of anyone. I almost never, like, I don't ever want to ask for anything. I don't know. I still feel very alone, I guess, like isolated about it. I don't feel like I can ask for stuff. So like, I see other people who have really, you know, come a long way where they feel like they can say, hey, can you turn the lights down or something? But like, I still am just like, I'm fine. One day we were doing the podcast and I felt like I couldn't really look up, but I know that I had to. And so largely what I do is I just push through stuff, which, you know, we've talked about with you and your OCD. I don't feel the ability to be like, I can't, you know, I never want to say that.
Why?
Because then I'm like inconveniencing people and I'm like making people upset at me and annoyed at me. And I'm upset with myself for not being able to do as much. And I feel like people won't believe me, or they'll think I'm being difficult, or they'll not want to work with me anymore because I'm difficult. So I just don't say anything. I don't ever, even in like relationships and stuff, I hardly ever push forward or ask for anything. Or the people I've dated, I very much like protect their needs and like their problems. I never point stuff out that bothers me. If someone's like doing something that triggers like an autism response in me, I have never once been like, can you not do that?
Do you feel a point of pride about that?
No.
But how's that been working out for you?
No, not well. What? Who is it? You don't like them? You hate them? Who are they? What are they saying in dog language? I still feel like I'm like just complaining, or I'm just being weak when I have to when I want like an accommodation. Oops. I'm not perfect. I'm not a role model.
Do you feel like there's any approach that could like change your mind on that stuff?
I don't know. Maybe like space to feel like I could be baby. You know what I mean? Like other people get to be baby. Mm-hmm. Why don't I ever get to be baby?
I feel like sometimes like we switch off on doing certain things because one of us is overwhelmed, and
yeah, but you're not gonna swaddle me.
I could.
I just feel like a lot of guilt about needing more than maybe the average person.
I get that.
Yeah.
because I need more than the average person.
Right.
But I don't feel guilt about that.
Well, you've had a very long time to you're just like, I don't know, better.
I think I'm more tapped into self-compassion than you are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very nice to myself, and I feel like you're still pretty mean to yourself.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to unlearn.
I feel very inconvenient. Like, oh, the trans stuff is inconvenient. The autism stuff is inconvenient.
I would understand that more if you, like, lived in a place where no one was like you. But your community is very similar to you. You are friends and are surrounded by other neurodivergent people and queer people and trans people.
Yeah. Well, the other neurodivergent people, then it's hard for me because I immediately go into like, well, they need more than me, which now I'm wondering is familial. You know what I mean? We're like, I need stuff, but that person needs more. So
middle child.
Middle child. The real problem is the diagnosis of middle child. What's a DSM for middle child? You know?
Do you think all those things about the people in your life who share those characteristics with you?
No.
So why would people think that about you?
Well, sometimes I'm like, it's a bit much about other people. I could be more, I guess, in terms of just this element of myself.
And then also, like, what you ask for is different depending on the situation, right? Like, if you're in a meeting with somebody, you've never met them before.
Yeah.
Like, you're presenting a different part of yourself than you need to with, like, your best friends or your family or a partner.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think it's a big jump to expect you to feel comfortable stating your needs with everyone all the time. But if you can start to get comfortable with, like, your support system.
Yeah.
Then that might make a big difference.
Yeah. It even takes a lot to correct, pronouns. So the people that have neurodivergence where they feel comfortable being like asking for something or like, if someone's like, can we meet at this restaurant? And you know that restaurant is loud and being like, can we meet somewhere else? The ability to even say that, I'm like, wow, incredible.
I believe that you have the ability to say that.
I am trying to more so, someone will be like, I live in Highland Park. Can we meet here at 5 p.m.? And I know that's going to be an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. I have just started being like, actually, is it possible to meet in the middle? Just now at 35.
Better late than never.
I wish this had any sort of like conclusion or like information or whatever, advice, anything. Other than me just being like...
Well, you just start to do those things.
Yeah.
And then you see what happens, right? Like, does your life fall apart? Does that person ever want to see you again? Like, do you push everyone away? But until you start to do those things, you don't get to collect the evidence for what actually happens. And my guess is the actual evidence will prove that it's okay that you do those things.
Maybe. Or people will be like, wow, Gabe suddenly became 10 times more annoying.
I don't know if that's possible. Well, it's also like, think about it in that way, right? Like, you are not a small, shy person. Like, it's like you have always taken up space. You have always been somebody with a big personality. Yeah,
but that feels to me like I can control it. And the like not being able to work because I have to close my eyes is not in my control. So that feels bad. You know?
Yeah.
I guess I feel like I take up space in one way in order to divert attention from the other way. Self-aware.
Self-awareness isn't enough to fix the problem.
No, I know that. This is why I'm in my era of reflecting.
Yes, it's a good era. I'm
in my reflecting, thinking era. Wasn't that like Kylie Jenner that tweeted like the year of knowing things or something?
Oh, I'm in my year of not knowing things.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, the year of realizing stuff.
Oh, you're in the year of realizing stuff.
The year of realizing stuff. 2016, she said, this is the year of realizing stuff.
2016, yeah.
And it was. 2024, the year of realizing stuff.
The year of realizing stuff and trying new things.
Taking action.
Taking action. That seems exciting.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Probably just be alone forever.
I was literally at a store because we need a new sofa because this one's actively peeling if you zoom in. And we went to the store and we were like, I need to have like leather so I can wipe it down. They were like, well, we have these couch over here. It doesn't come in leather, but you know, and I just went, I just got to tell you, I have OCD, so I need something I can wipe down.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, fair enough. Good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I hadn't said that, I would have been stuck in that store for another 20 minutes pretending I could tolerate cloth.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Pretending I can tolerate cloth. That was really beautifully, eloquently spoken.